You are 9 years old the first time you get arrested. It's 1938, South Boston. The streets smell like salt water and cigarette smoke, and something that never quite gets clean no matter how hard the rain falls. Your mother scrubs floors. Your father lost 2 fingers in a factory accident and never really came back from it. Not mentally, not in the ways that matter. You live in the Old Harbor Housing Project. Brick walls, thin doors, neighbors so close you can hear everything and pretend you can't. You learn early that the men who matter in this neighborhood don't wear uniforms. They wear good coats. They walk slowly. Everyone moves out of their way. You want that. You get arrested for the first time stealing from a store on West Broadway. The cops bring you home. Your father opens the door. You expect anger. What you get is worse. Disappointment so heavy it fills the hallway. You don't feel shame. You feel impatient. By 16, you're running with a crew. Small stuff at first. Theft, fights, the kind of trouble that gets you a reputation on the street and a file at the police station. You are fast and fearless and completely without hesitation. The older guys notice. In Southie, that's the only job interview that counts. You get pinched at 18 for theft, then again at 20 for armed robbery. The judge looks at you across the courtroom like you're already gone. Maybe he's right. You do your time. You come out harder, more focused, less interested in pretending there's another version of this life available to you. There isn't. Not in Southie, not in 1950. You go back to work. Through your 20s, you build. You are not reckless like the other guys. You watch. You think 3 moves ahead. You understand something most street guys never figure out. Violence is a tool, not a personality. The men who use it constantly are amateurs. The men who use it precisely are dangerous. You become dangerous. By the time you're 30, you control pieces of Southie that nobody controls without permission from the Winter Hill Gang. You get that permission. You earn it the way you earn everything, through patience and brutality deployed in exactly the right measure at exactly the right moment. Then, in 1971, something happens that changes everything. The FBI comes to you. His name is John Connolly. He grew up 6 blocks from you, looked up to you as a kid. Now he's a federal agent, and he's sitting across from you in a quiet place, and he's making an offer that shouldn't make sense, but somehow does. Become an informant. Feed us information on the Italian mob. In return, we protect you. We look the other way. We let you run Southie. You think about it for exactly as long as it takes to understand what's really being offered. Not just protection, a weapon. You say yes. What happens next takes years to fully understand. You are now simultaneously the most powerful criminal in South Boston and a protected federal asset. When the Italian mob makes moves against your operation, you whisper names into Connolly's ear, and federal agents appear like magic. Your rivals get indicted. They go to prison. They disappear from the board entirely. You didn't have to touch them. The FBI did it for you. You expand. Loan sharking, extortion, drug trafficking. The money flows in from every direction. You buy politicians. You own cops. You have so many layers of protection between you and consequence that you start to feel genuinely untouchable. Because you are. The FBI is your personal army, and they don't even fully understand that's what they've become. Connolly believes he's running you. You know exactly who is running who. But here is the part they don't tell you at the beginning. Here is the part that comes later when the walls start to close. Being an informant means people die. Not strangers, not faceless enemies, people you know. Men who sat at your table. Men who brought you envelopes and called you by your first name. You pass their names to Connolly, and weeks later they turn up dead or in handcuffs or simply gone. You tell yourself they were in the game. You tell yourself they understood the rules. You tell yourself it's business. You get very good at telling yourself things. Through the 70s and into the 80s, You are the king of South Boston. The newspaper calls you a folk hero. Southie loves you. You fund Little League teams. You help old women with their groceries. You are generous and terrifying in equal measure, and the neighborhood holds both things about you without contradiction because that is what Southie does. But the bodies keep piling up. 19 confirmed murders, possibly more. Men and women, some of them killed for business reasons. Some of them killed because they knew too much. One woman killed because her boyfriend talked to the wrong people. You are present for some of them. You order others from a distance. You become so comfortable with it that it stops feeling like anything at all. That is the part that should scare you most. It doesn't. In 1988, a grand jury starts asking questions. The walls aren't closing yet, but you can feel the pressure changing. The way you feel a storm coming before the sky changes color. You've survived this before. You have Connolly. You have your layers. You have 20 years of careful construction between you and a courtroom. Then, in 1995, Connolly calls. You're about to be indicted. Racketeering, murder. The full weight of everything you've built and done and ordered and buried. The FBI is finally coming for you. Not because they stopped protecting you, because protecting you became impossible. Because the bodies and the money and the decades of looking the other way finally became something even they couldn't contain. You have maybe hours. You pack a bag. You take the money you've been keeping for exactly this moment. You walk out of South Boston for the last time. You become a ghost. For 16 years, you disappear. You live in Santa Monica, California under a fake name. You dye your hair. You grow a beard. You are on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Your face is on television. And somehow, for 16 years, nobody finds you. Your girlfriend is with you the whole time, Catherine Gregg. She leaves everything behind. She chooses you over her own life, and you let her do it. In 2011, a tip comes in from Iceland. Someone recognized Catherine from a missing persons broadcast. Not you, her. The FBI shows up at your apartment on 3rd Street. You are 81 years old. You've been running for 16 years. You open the door, and there they are. And somewhere underneath everything you've become and everything you've done, there is a 9-year-old kid from Old Harbor who always knew this was how it ended. You just thought it would end sooner. At trial, the evidence is overwhelming. 11 murders proven, decades of racketeering, extortion, drug trafficking. The courtroom hears it all. Witnesses describe things in detail. Things you did. Things you ordered. Things that happened in rooms with no windows while Boston slept. You are convicted on 31 counts, including 11 murders. You are sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms plus 5 years. They put you in a federal penitentiary in West Virginia. Then they transfer you to Hazleton in 2018. You are 89 years old. You have been the most feared man in Boston. You have been an FBI informant and a crime boss simultaneously for 2 decades. You have outrun the law for 16 years. On October 30th, 2018, you are found dead in your cell, beaten, a makeshift weapon, other inmates. You spent your whole life making sure you were the most dangerous man in any room you walked into. In the end, you died in a room you couldn't control. You grew up watching men in good coats walk slowly through Southie while everyone moved out of their way. You became one of them. You became the one they all moved for. And it still wasn't enough to save you. It never is.